Countdown to kickoff continues. It is week 18, and it's time for our weekly conversation with pride of the Jaguars running back, finalist Fred Taylor. I love
That's
that
right.
nickname.
Finalist Freddie. Oh man, it needs to change here soon. But we're very patient. We've been patient, and we will continue to display that. But it's cool, man. It's been fun. Um, Sort of sharing it with the fans as I spoke last week, sharing it with the fans, seeing all of the support. The people that are reaching out, if I can do anything for you, say anything for you, all that different stuff. Working with Sam Kavoris has been very good. That has been really good. And Sam is kind of, he's the front man for it. So we have to load him up with as much ammunition as possible. So when he goes in those rooms, people can kind of really get a feel for, my career and what I did. So finalist Freddie has a good ring to it. We'll see what happens going forward.
Fred, it's week 18, and the division comes down to the final week of the regular season. Of course, the Jaguars visit the Titans today, and the Colts and the Texans play each other. So it's a must-win, basically, for the Jaguars. They could miss the thing altogether if they lose. Let's not go down that path, though. So it's as simple as that. The messaging is simple. Win, and you're the division champs.
Yeah, that's the message. Football, we kind of overcomplicate it sometimes, but we're here now. They and I don't want to go back, so I won't even start down that road. They just need to put on their blinders. They went out there with an underachieving Panthers team last week, and they beat them as they were supposed to. They played really well. They could have went out there and kind of played sloppy ball, played undisciplined, but they played very, very good, sound football last week. And it's going to take that same sort of effort this week. We spoke about it in the post game, how tricky the Titans can be this week. The tricky Titans, let's just call them that, because they have nothing to play for other than pride. Their season is over, so they can play, to be the spoilers here. And Jacksonville has to really be ready for everything they dish out, along with executing themselves on both sides of the ball, as well as special teams. So this will be an interesting matchup, simply because there are a lot of unknowns that are going to come from the Titans side. But what is known, and you just said it, JP, this is a must win. You win and you're in. And that's it, my friend.
Fred Taylor. A man of many words today.
I thought you were going to let me start freestyling right here. I was going to say a 1 and a 2.
The floor is yours, Fred. Go, whatever you want to do. Go ahead.
I'll leave the freestyle for the Jags. Maybe they should say a 1 and a 2. You know what we came to do, and that's just win, baby. Win, baby. That's it.
Oh, wow. All right. So let's talk running backs here.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Travis Etienne goes over 100 last week. He had the long run to get over there, and they dedicated themselves to it. I mean, they ran the ball 29 times with running backs. That was the goal going into the game. Should that be the same goal this week, no matter the quarterback?
It should certainly be the same goal. I mean, you look back, and old school football is 30-plus carries for one runner. Now we're fighting to get 30 carries between the entire group. But you want to go in with that run the ball mindset. And the defense has to go in with their same mindset. You can establish the run. You can establish the run by displaying your will, blocking it up perfectly, hitting the proper reads, all that good stuff, blocking downfield. The defense can also help you establish the run game by winning the field position battle. Winning third downs, getting the other offense off the field, as we did last week. I believe the statistic was they held the Panthers for 1 to 13 on third down. So that also afforded the offense an opportunity to call more run plays and not get away from it, even though there was some lack of production until Etienne's big pop-out 62-yarder. You still want to call it up, because that's just the beauty of the run game. No gain, 3 yards, 2 yards, -1, a no gain, 5 yards, boom, 62. And that's just how it goes. And it's funny, JP, you said, let's talk about running backs. And it was such a perfect cue. And I don't know if I can show this here, but Marcus Allen just texted me
Oh, wow.
at 9. Yeah, Marcus Allen just texted me. And he said, you can't teach that. This is pure. He sent me my highlights. And every time I talk to Marcus, he says, if I were a GM, you would be my first pick. And it's just you queued it up when you said, let's talk running backs. And the text came in right on time. That's wow, that's crazy. But yeah, the running game is very vital. It's going to be important in this game. That way the better you run it, you can minimize those tricky play opportunities that Tennessee's offense might attempt.
Fred Taylor with us. Name dropping today. I love that. That's fantastic.
Well,
no, it's what it is. I mean, you're running
a different
leverage.
You have to learn to leverage your relationships. My son made $13.50. He wants to go to University of Florida all of a sudden, and I might know a few people. I don't know, or maybe a few people might listen to this show and say, "Well, Freddie's son has a 1350 SAT and 4-point-something GPA. It's hard to get in, but maybe might be able to, name drop a couple names, JP. I'm just saying, other than the trickery that we should expect from the Titans this week, I'm a disciplinarian, man. I play by the rules. I work hard, but every now and then, I might have to call on a friend.
What friends are
if
for.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. It makes a whole lot of sense.
Yes,
how about
sir.
Derrick Henry? Over 1,000 yards, but it doesn't feel like it this year. I mean, they have just, they're not playing well. The quarterback's not playing well. They don't have the skill players around him, but it could be his last game in Tennessee. How motivated will he be?
I mean, it can go either way. I think with that, it could go either way. Obviously, he does want to, put on tape. He still has it. 1,000 yards. The last time I checked, it's still 1,000 yards. It hadn't been in the typical Derrick Henry fashion. They made him work for it. It reminds me a lot of how Eddie George used to get his yards. This is the first season, I believe, he's under 4 yards per carry. He's had some tough, grinded games this year, but yet it's still a guy who has 9,300 yards in an 8-year career. I mean, he should be he's knocking on the 10,000 yard mark. And I don't see many other 10,000 yard backs after Derrick. But let's just hope he stays healthy. I root for Derrick. He's a Florida boy, right there from Yulee. So I root for him. Him and my son Kelvin came out the same season out of high school. So I'm always a fan of let's call him King Henry, and just not when he plays the Jags. I wish him success every game other than when he's versus the Jaguars. But I expect in those trick plays, JP, I expect Derrick to potentially throw a halfback pass. I expect a throwback to the quarterback, some double play, gadget trickery, all that stuff will be dialed up in this game. They're going to go for it on a lot of multiple fourth downs. As you've seen that happen last week with Carolina, I think they went for it on almost every fourth down, which was crazy. And I expect that here from the Titans as well.
651 yards away from 10,000. So he'll get that early next season. And then, to your point, he's 7 of 9 passing in his career with 4 touchdown passes. Derrick Henry.
So I think that would certainly be something they would want to dial up, especially if the Jaguars are going to be aggressive, and in the box to try to stop the run, because they've had some issues at the quarterback position. They cannot let him get going. And let's also remind ourselves that we still have Hopkins on that side of the ball, who's still a very good receiver, very, very, very much capable of getting the job done.
Fred Taylor with his final thought. Did you ever throw a pass?
The passes I threw, I believe, were in practice only, and I think they all touched the dirt before they touched the receiver. So Coach Coughlin, X'd it out for me. I believe Stacey Mack has more pass attempts in the game than I do. I know Jones-Drew does, but Shorty could really throw the ball. I'll call him Shorty. He's probably going to hear this and say, "Oh, Freddie, you're taking shots at me." But that's MJD is my guy. He certainly had a much better arm, and I'm just going to say I think I had better legs. I still have nicer legs.
Yes, absolutely. I'll take your word for it. Fred Taylor, always a pleasure. We'll talk after a division title, hopefully today.
Yeah, I'll be ready. Right now, I'm going to hop off and go and do this 30-minute treadmill walk and work on my sexy legs. How about that? Until we talk again, my friend.
Happy New Year.
Fred. Happy New Year.